Hey, how are you? I'm SliceofOtaku, and finally, I'm making a video on Rhodonite, the last of the off-color gems we have to cover when it comes to initial bits of information we have on them at the moment. Now, Rhodonite isn't considered a defective gem in the same manner as the twins of Rutile or even Padparacha, who were considered wrong upon creation. As a mixed gem fusion between a pearl and a ruby, she's considered a societal abomination and thus is off-colored. Now, we received a bit of deposition regarding her background that is pretty interesting.
When our Morganite found out, let's just say, we were replaced.
The way Rhodonite refers to her former master actually caught my attention a bit. She says "my" before quickly correcting herself to say "our." Now, maybe I'm looking at this too closely, but to me, this is an interesting thing for a fusion to say, especially if they've been fused together for quite some time. The majority of fusions tend to abstain from referring to themselves in the plural sense, favoring wording such as "I" as it alludes to stability and complete unity. It's unstable fusions such as Malachite that fail to truly combine consciousness that claim the use of "we" as preference. In fact, Rhodonite's word choice is practically the opposite of Garnet's word choice as provided in the episode The Answer as a new fusion.
Don't hurt me?
But why say the reverse as a permafusion by choice? I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. Another tidbit mentioned in her backstory is the name of the gem they once belonged to, Morganite. This is a type of gem we've yet to see before, but with a name drop like that, I think it's fair for us to expect an appearance at some point down the line. And although we don't yet have an on-screen appearance from this gem, we can, however, refer to her real-world equivalent. Mind you, gems in the series and gems in our world often differ in numerous ways, but if anything, color has for the most part been a consistent similarity between them. Morganite is a pink gem, and considering that, we may assume that she once belonged to Pink Diamond's court, which of course adds another level of intrigue onto this story. Knowing that Morganite had ownership over a pearl and a ruby lets us know that her placement in homeworld society is rather high up, which may be another parallel to her real world equivalent as well. Morganites in our world are widely considered to be gorgeous gems that may serve as great diamond alternatives in jewelry. And I mean, of course, replacing a diamond in Steven Universe isn't really realistic, but to me, this says something about their position, a position of high clarity. Anyways, since Morganite is a pink gem who once owned a pearl with seemingly pink features recognizable even as a fusion, the sensible conclusion is that the pearl component of Rhodonite is a pink pearl. Now, although she may be a pink pearl, I firmly believe she is not the pink pearl, as in not the pink pearl once owned by Pink Diamond. As for Rhodonite's personality, she is incredibly worrisome. Fear seems to be the most distinct trait possessed by this gem, but such paranoia could very well be the reason they survived for so long on Homeworld. But something to remember is that Rhodonite isn't the only off-color gem in this predicament who've been forced to fear for their lives. So why is it so prominently displayed in her? I don't think that life as an off-color gem is the complete reason for this, but rather only a part of it. Maybe as a master, Morganite branded them with fear by means of cruelty. If that's the case, then it's possible that she is essentially the reasoning behind their fusion. To endure the abuse Morganite dealt, they may have sought comfort in one another, fear being the binding property of the relationship. Fusion is something that's able to represent a multitude of relationship types, and it seems like Rhodonite is the Crewniverse once again seizing this opportunity in an exquisite way. Simply being there for one another, a support system, love found in even the most dire of situations. This has all the makings of an incredible story. Morganite discovered that they had been fusing and replaced them, but I feel like this is putting it lightly. There is no way that this was a clean-cut separation. Escaping from the surface and surviving down below couldn't have been easy for her, and so I'm curious how life beyond Homeworld, life on Earth, will be like for her. If anything, I'm sure her interaction with simple Earth concepts will be funny or cute or maybe a bit of both. Similarly to Fluorite, I really want to see the individual gem components of this permafusion, but with how long it took for Garnet to separate for the first time on screen, and the circumstances required for that to occur, it seems like we'll be in for quite a bit of waiting before any of that happens. But hey, it's not like we don't already do that with everything else in the show. At the moment, we don't really have much information on this gem to go off of, but hopefully this video was able to make you even more interested in her. I for one can't wait to hear the rest of her backstory, so if you have any ideas on what else may have happened to her, let me know down below. If you liked the video and want to learn everything and anything you can about new characters in Steven Universe, you should probably subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.